I look tired because my body feels tired. It is good. I was thinking about hubris. There is a YouTube channel called Overly Sarcastic Productions, and they like to describe in detail with cartoons mythology and history and works of fiction. And within the mythology that they describe a lot of Greek mythology, and it is often said there that hubris is one of the common ways in which tragedies occur, or in which there are mythologies happening and then the hero is a hero until his downfall, and his downfall is often caused by his or her own hubris. Looking it up in a dictionary, it's hubris is excessive pride or arrogance. And yes, that's the way it's commonly known. As I see it, hubris is a disconnection of a part of ourselves. As pride is itself, actually. If we are proud about something, if we are attaching ourselves to some identity or to some attribute or feature, we are rejecting the part of us that's not that. And we have not that as well, because we are a whole. For everything we contain its opposite. We certainly contain the possibility of its opposite. Hubris. There is this story about Bellerophon, who was a hero, and he had a sword, and he slayed the chimera by pouring, what was it, molten lead down its throat? It was ingenious. An ingenious will of killing the chimera. Daring to go right close to his throat. And then after he also killed other monsters and accomplished other feats, and at the end he was amazing, and he had a flying horse with him, and he just thought of himself as powerful. And then he saw Mount Olympus and he thought, oh, why am I not there? I am godlike. Why could I not be there? And he flew to Mount Olympus, wanted to go there to be with the other gods. And Zeus was angry, and he became a gadfly and stung Pegasus on I don't know, somewhere. Stung Pegasus, and Pegasus recoiled out and threw Bellerophon out of his vacuum, and Bellerophon fell down all the way to the ground and died. And that said, that was caused by hubris. So Bellerophon, in that moment, he he not only desired to go to Mount Olympus, he rejected the idea of staying not on Mount Olympus. He rejected the idea of not being immortal. And like, oh, I must go and be with the gods. I mean, there are things to be said for being bold enough to follow one's desires. But as with most things, I believe it's a matter of balance. Like one example of hubris I find common in us humans is that we reject the baser, the primal parts of ourselves in parts. The most basic ones that we reject of ourselves are defecation and urination, or sweating, or barfing, or farting, or vomiting. Sneezing and coughing, involuntary things that our body does as in reaction to things of the world, because the body wants to be healthy, so the body is reacting and trying to keep in balance. And when we do that, there's apologies, and there is shame, and there's guilt, and we block the door. And if there is the smell of feces or urine in the house, even just a little bit, there's this guilt and shame, and we apologize, and we try to get the air out and blow candles all around to get the air get the smell out. Like, okay, yeah, let's keep it clean. Yes, that I see it's important. I just see that the shame is unnecessary. The shame is unnecessary. By us having shame of that part of ourselves, we're rejecting it, we're not looking at it. And then we also don't notice if that part of us is telling us something, like maybe our pee got too dark, and then it's kind of a little shameful. I don't know who to tell, and it's kind of dark, and I only tell my doctor, and my doctor only tells me some things, and it's not shared, it's not. We try to think of it as little as possible, usually. Saying that one has, for example, hemorrhoids is this thing that I'm like, oh, I have hemorrhoids. Sorry. Or venereal diseases. Things of the body, things we don't control very much. And we likely reject that because we do not control it, because it's not something that we can project. It's not a projection we can manipulate. Like when our body is cleansing itself from the inside, we are in a vulnerable state. We are showing some kind of, not weakness, but certainly vulnerability of the body, like saying, hey, my body is not perfect, it's cleaning. It's an admittance of not being in optimal shape all the time. It's an admittance that I need to have maintenance time to go and clean. myself. It's something related to that. It doesn't seem that we think about it too much, but it's there. There is sometimes shame of our primal bodily functions. And I see that as a form of hubris. Rejecting those parts of ourselves that we don't like, that we don't want to be. The parts of ourselves that get jealous, the parts of ourselves that get guilty or sad or lonely or angry. We don't want to admit it because we are better than that. So we're good. And we're good. And it's okay. Nobody sees the things that I don't like inside of me. I'm better than that. I'm better than that. Oh, my timer's up. My rice is getting ready. That's what I was thinking about hubris.